Hi, Al. This is Saida Vergara from Becoming I Am here with the astrology of April 6th through the 8th. So, the biggest thing about these days is that the moon will be in Capricorn. I have to say that when the moon is in Capricorn, it's a good and a bad thing. Capricorn has a way of us getting structured, getting disciplined, signing those contracts, doing those agreements, even with ourselves to get things done. But at the same token, it makes us really look into what we signed up for, right? Like what people we signed up to talk to, what collective consciousness we are connected to. And that is important for you guys to understand. When I'm talking about the collective consciousness, this means the people that you are tuning into. That's in all forms of social media. That is all forms of religious basis. This is all forms of politics. This is all forms of anything that is like a massive group and that it pushes an agenda, a thought process. And every single time we tap into them and we stay connected to them, we are literally creating a contract and agreement of, I will align to this belief system or this energetic field. And I will give of my energy to this so that it can continue moving in this dynamic. This is why I tell you guys you have to be very careful about like focusing on the past, focusing on certain people, for focusing on pains, things like that, because you are also giving energy when you're giving that focus. That's that whole energy flows where intention goes or something like that. That talks about manifestation, but we are manifesting our reality by also what we are connecting to. And so this energy of Capricorn has a way of making us really notice what we've been signing up for. And if we really if we're those types of people, if we are of that same wavelength. And this goes back to a saying that I used to hear growing up a lot, which is, tell me who you are with and I'll tell you who you are, right? When you are agreeing to the group, you are agreeing to the group, even the ugly stuff of to the group, you know? And you might say, oh, well, I like this policy or this thing of them, or I like this way, but all that other stuff I don't like. So that's not me. I'm just this part of it. You can't pick and choose. This is the thing that I find very interesting about Western belief systems. They believe that you can ascribe to a certain religion, for example, and just pick up things that they like for example, Hinduism, and you like yoga. So I'm a yogi. Well, then you're ascribing to all the belief systems and everything of that group. You're not just taking that one little piece. And the thought process of believing that you're just taking one little piece and that's it is a very, I want to say, naive of ourselves. Because once you take that one little piece, you're ascribing to that collective and the way they think and the way they move and the demons that they may carry. So I guess I'm telling you this because this is like, you're going to be delving really deep into stuff like this. Like it might not be as big as religion, right? It might be, why am I still listening to this person on social media? They don't even make sense. They're always making me feel bad. Why am I still listening to this? Why do I listen to that voice inside my head that says that I always fail? Why do I believe in that? So it can be that small or it can be that big, like I just finished mentioning. And then deciding if that's you, just keep in mind that sometimes this creates like an energy inside of us that feels like a temper tantrum where we can start getting anxious. We can, because we feel trapped, we can start getting angry because we feel trapped, or we can start getting emotional because we feel trapped. So if these energies are like coming up inside of you and you don't know where they're coming from, it's probably something that you're bound to, that you've been assigned to, or something that you assigned yourself to, right? Something that you entangled yourself with that literally is holding you back. And it's a need for you to understand, if you delve deep into it, why you decided to do this, how this identifies a part of yourself, if you need to heal it, if you have to create boundaries, or if you just have to let it go. So I think these next 3 days are going to be really difficult. And to be honest, Thursday also is the moon in Capricorn, but it has a little extra. So that's why I separated it. This week, there's only going to be like 2 astrological videos because really everything is bunched up together, which I think is perfect because I think it's the universe kind of setting us up to be able to really process something instead of like chewing down the food really quick and swallowing it down because you have to do something else. You're now like actually taking the time to chew it really well and digest it so that you know if it's part of you or if it's something that needs to be purged out. So times like this can be a little scary because sometimes we don't realize how much non-control we have. There's this like belief system that we have free will. And I'm not going to say that we and planet Earth have the ability to energetically have free will. But free will is something that comes with discipline and with a cost. And the first part of it is breaking free from being part of this collective and starting to know your individual self. And to get free of that collective, you have to go through the fire. Then finally, when you make the choices that are actually yours, because you actually are deciding them, you're not connecting to a collective that's telling you what it is that you have to do. So free will doesn't come just because, oh, you're born with free will. You're born with the ability to obtain free will. You're not born with it. And I think that people don't realize how easy we can be manipulated by other energies like the astrology or other people because of the fact that we don't have free will until we become free. One of the things I also hear a lot of is people saying, oh, I'm connecting to the collective consciousness and blah, 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 blah. Great for you. But you are aware that the collective consciousness has a virus that runs through it. And it's usually connected to one of the cardinal sins. And they usually trap you there. And then, yet again, you're part of this matrix and you really don't have a mind of your own. You have a mind of the collective. And so I guess what I'm saying is that how many of you guys have actually done things that people say, you did this, and you're thinking about it and you're like, the hell this person is talking about? They're freaking crazy. Did you ever meditate on those words and see if potentially you did? This goes back to this book that I actually read that's called The People of a Lie and the Lie. It was written by a psychiatrist and he was talking about narcissism, right? And I know narcissism is being thrown around everywhere, but we all have a degree of it because it's part of our ego. And then he went through to discover that whole concept of exorcisms. And if people are listening closely, the Pope has actually activated that energy of starting to put exorcists in all churches and things like that. And I think it's interesting that he's doing that because I do feel that way too many people are under some kind of mind control and don't even know it. They can't see through their eyes. They see that's being told to them. And then other people get upset with the way you're reacting, yet you don't understand why these people are getting upset because you're acting fine. But they don't see what you're seeing. And that's the concept of that movie, like, for example, that horror movie Smile or Inheritance, right? Or Heredity is the name of that book, of that movie. Because it's the fact that when something else is taking over the puppet, it will let the puppet see whatever it is it wants to see, but the machine is actually doing something else. Wow, this one really, really dark really quickly, but it's interesting because I think what we're being told from like Queen a long time ago and many, many other, like Beyonce too. I heard that song is in my head. The one from Queen that says, I want to break free, or the one from Beyonce that says, freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. I'll break chains upon myself. I won't let freedom rot in hell. I'm going to keep fighting because a winner don't play for them on themselves. And I guess, and the worst part about this whole thing is that there's so little people that know that they're chained. I guess this is the apple that gives you truth, but it also brings you out of this feeling of the Garden of Eden, because you realize that you were never there, that it was a lie. This is a very interesting energy. I didn't feel this when I was going to tune in. I don't know why we're going through all this tangent, but I guess it's food for thought, and we have all the way through Thursday to be thinking about it. And I think the reason it is because next week we have a new moon in Aries, and it has 6 placements in Aries. And that really does feel like breaking the chains. I hope this helps you.